Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Like I'm handsome, come around no ransom. You can't pay me for the shit that you could do with Manson, Maryland, Monroe. I could take this shit to the Grove like an orchard. If you see the trees in the back, you know Porter. I could make you drink on the best beer wine. Having the divine little time is inspired. Let's just freestyle from the mind for the moment. Alright. Whack ass freestyle, but fuck it. Let's go. What's up, Cosmic Kinfolk? We're here today for a very special reason. And that reason is we're alive. We're in the flesh. We have the mouth to speak, the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and a reason to be consummately clear. And the eyes to hear, the eyes do hear, by the way, but the ears to hear so that we can be consummately clear if you're really listening. I've realized that, I've watched some videos this weekend of hip hop guys that really speak well. They're very great orators. They're very persuasive, but a persuasive person is just a salesman. They're selling you something for the benefit of their own family, future, so forth. But they can never really sell you what you really need. They sell you what you think you need after they've convinced you you need it. And you know what? More power to their motivation, because a lot of the words that come out of their mouth are like, you know what? We are the kings and queens and gods of this planet. We are the ones that the white man came from. White man bow down to us. They talk like, yo, you don't know how much power you have inside of you until you realize that you are a melanated being on this planet and no one else touches you. You were the original man. They say things like this. They say, so many, things that are very good salesman techniques in the regards of enlightenment of our culture, but they are not talking what really has to happen. They're playing a record that they've heard and they're regurgitating it. And it's very amazing to watch these people, because if they're charismatic enough, they garner your attention. I'll listen to anybody who has the charismatic, acumen to talk and articulate their expression in a way that goes to me like, yeah, oh yeah. What say less. No, say more. Because I want to hear what you're saying, just because you are so passionate and you're so charismatic and your charisma exudes the fact that you should be followed. Well, pause. We almost followed Martin Luther King down a road where Martin Luther King was like, and I have a dream that one day black boys and black girls and black we just like the white boys and the white girls. We are better in that sense, and already were before he made that speech. Sorry, my white friends, and I'm going right back to the rhetoric that I just started making fun of. But we already were. The original man, the original melanation of the skin, is important to a technological, biological function. Let's say this again. The melanation of skin is important to the technological, biological function. And if you're not taught this and somebody's just screaming from the rooftops, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm an inkwell, if they're just bluffing because they don't know everything, but they can speak things that they've read back to you, they have a good memory system, they have a very good base of knowledge, they're not in the practice of actually executing that knowledge for what it was really meant to be intended. They're trying to make money. They're trying to make currency. They might be trying to sell you an NFT. They might be trying to sell you a CD. They might be trying to sell you, their vibe, And in their vibe, they want you to be a part of their tribe. And tribalistic nature is the true, I would call it, fabric that weaves mankind together. Tribalisms. Tribal and ism is tribe of a culture. And ism is a culture or a mind state. You have Judaism. It's a mind state of the Judas, the Jews. You have tribalism. You have humanitarianism. If you learn what conjugation how it works in English language, you're learning the program in English. Because English is a programmable language. That's why we can make up new words, because we have certain things that are predicates and prefixes and suffixes to make new words available for understanding very rapidly through the evolution of new things being entered into the lexicon based on objects appearing out of creation. Because creation is ongoing. There'll always be something that has not been named yet. Even though there's nothing new under the sun, it needs to be named based on its new manifestation, the current vibration. What is this talk again today? This talk is me doing a very beautiful rant to like the likes of Kanye, to like the likes of the CEO and the COSs that I deal with. And I mean OSs meaning a female CEO. OSs, COSs. S's are beautiful. S's are something that are such a high frequency when you say them that, music software has a thing called a de-esser to take the S out of the song, to soften the S, because an S is and what do snakes do? They slither, they speak with their tongue. That tongue hitting their roof of their mouth makes them sound like this. I mean, they even begin with the word S. But an S is the extra added on vibration that a person of the female persuasion has. This vibration is based on very easily interpreted metaphysical science principles, but you must apply a balanced logic to this. If your logic is in any way unbalanced, like my beard is, like how I left this side a little muddy and I kind of got this side a little clear. When I shave today, I gotta go get this side. I can't grow this back, so I gotta go even out this side. In fact, I mean, I hope that's actually making a lot of sense to you. That I took the time to make my face very unbalanced. I went to the bathroom about 25-30 minutes ago and I shaved my beard, and when I shaved this side, it's hard to see in the camera. When I shaved this side, I'm like, oh, you thinned that out way more than you would have wanted to. I was really just trying to get right here, right? And then I ended up taking out this area. So what I did was I did not do this side. I said, let me leave myself unbalanced to show what I am as a man. As a man, on the alchemical chromosome level, there's another word for that when you make it I know English very well, but on my chromosome level, I am an X and a Y chromosome. That might mean jack shit to you, but I am an unbalanced creature because I don't have anything on the side of the equation of the 1 + 1 = 2, the equal sign being the balanced state in the middle. I don't have that. I'm missing one. So when my 1 + 1 comes out, I get 1.5. But yet, as a man, I can be very much closer to a certain amount of logic that the balanced being of an X and X chromosome woman cannot be. and rightfully so. But that's for a man to have to rebalance himself. And then take that essence of him rebalancing himself and transfer that back to the balanced creature that stands in front of him as his mate. Because his mate is required to listen to unbalancedness to maintain their balance. But your unbalancedness as a man must come from a centered place. Otherwise, you will destroy that feminine energy. You will destroy it. You will make it feel lesser than itself, because that feminine energy cries often. That feminine energy protects often, where it's like life or death for protection of like the offspring, like the lionesses. In nature, a lot of the female energy is meant to protect. Masculine energy is meant to give of itself to the balanced being. I mean, you can look at flowers. A flower is a female and a male object at the same time. And the stamen, or the thing that sticks out from the middle of the flower, right, sends out pollen or a semen type of energy, you know, an energy that flies out from itself. And then deeper in the stamen is like a vulva or a vagina, that when pollen from another plant of the same species enters that part of the flower's seeds begin to expand, because they've received enough genetic information to continue their expansion and create seeds that will be spread out when the flower dies. So what I'm explaining to you is a very powerful wisdom that our melanated teachers knew, and it's not being passed down in its truest wisdom. You know, a lot of things get devilized, and devils are ones that have these specific emotions that rule their world: envy, hate, anger, revenge, sloth. I'm not trying to name all the 7 deadly sins. I'm really just going off of emotions. And I have them in a very specific chart for accessing third eye. I'm forgetting some, so forgive me. But moving through these states, you become a devil demon. You have, at some point in your life, experienced any one of these emotions I've just told you about. But the point where you harbor them and they become a part of your personality type, you've now demonized yourself into a lower vibration that when you speak, the water around you changes into globs, clusters, hard, jagged pieces of water. The water molecules are shaped by our frequencies. And the water molecules shaped by the frequencies I just explained to you look very sad and depressed and don't have powerful angelic state. So look it up for yourself. You can look it up. Some people called what Dr. Miyamoto did is a hoax. No. By far is it a hoax. What you're dealing with is people who are afraid of metaphysical science. They're more attuned to the white man's version of science. So when you say love to water, you get sacred geometry product of the water. The water manifests itself in sacred geometry forms. These things are very simple, purposeful practices in the state of being that we are as a human being culture. As a human being culture, we either snap on each other and degrade each other because it's funny, and then we laugh, which releases the tension that was built from making somebody uncomfortable. But the laughter can release the tension. Therefore, like taking that word of like a little bit of anger, a little bit of hate, but making it in the context where it became a joke about pointing out a place for need of an improvement, which Dave Chappelle's very good at. Dave Chappelle's very good at showing a need for improvement in areas of thought, because thought is manifestation, and he shows that very well in his comedy. So sometimes comedy uses the juxtaposition of those traits of devilish traits to then become like, hey, you can alchemically change it as long as you laugh at it and realize it's not that serious. What you're dealing with is you're dealing with hurt on a level, maybe you're dealing with anxieties on a level that you never solved for yourself, and it became something that was passed down to you from generation to generation in your family lineage, in the way you spoke to each other. And therefore you are built that way. Your water is very, very clumpy. Your water is very jagged in your body. It does not vibrate very well because you weren't spoken to well. You weren't treated well. And your genetics show it. Your DNA is feeding off the vibration of the water for your epigenetics to be passed through to the next lineage in you. So as a man, again, we are an X and a Y chromosome. We are missing a piece of an X to make a Y. My guy, don't fucking king yourself yet. Don't king yourself yet. I'm dead ass. All these motherfuckers who are like, yo, check your woman. The woman is supposed to listen to you, and then she's only supposed to obey you. No. Stop that false education today if you can. You must. Because to move your culture forward, you must realize you're giving to a woman who has 2 X's in her chromosomal structure. She is a complete structural being. All you have to do to make her a man is take off a piece of the X chromosome. I'm angry because in the Bible it says the other way around. And that was just a narrative to make sure that the false energy can perpetuate itself through our cultures for a time in eons. Eons, my ass. Eons, my ass. Eons are forever. Eons are longer periods than these centuries that this false doctrine has been perpetuating itself. But my man, my dude, please admonish what I'm saying to you. Please go look up that you have an X and a Y chromosome, and then go find out what medical science says about this object here. This object here versus this object here, which is a Y. It's missing a piece of itself to become a man. So the Bible will integrate that into, Adam gave up his rib. Yeah, my guy, you're missing a piece of yourself. At one point in this ancient technology that is like talked about in like, they call it ancient aliens and Gaia, all these spiritual channels talk about it, but they're dancing around the issue. You're dancing around what I explained to you in Every Planet Wears a Crown, very succinctly. A lecture system that I put together, it's almost 2 years ago now, and I'm very proud of what I left there, because I'm seeing a lot of science fiction mimic it now, and I don't know if that is, influenced by just the water state of vibration, that when you say some things out into the world, they become manifest to the whole. And that's part of the fractal technology we deal with. But again, my man, I'm telling you right now, you are a fractal, a fraction of what the woman is. You're lacking an emotional state that is actually very powerful when tapping into what Western cultures call magic. The more emotional you can become, and you are at least balanced in what you understand is body technology, you can move this body technology to do amazing things, like shoot birds out of trees with your fingertips. I'm talking very big science fiction stuff, which I've achieved in my life. I don't know if you have. I'd like to see your evidence of it, because if you want, I'll show you my receipts. I come with receipts to anything I speak on. I am not demonic. I am not even close to satanic. But you would believe that based on maybe your cultural dogmatic system, because you've been lost in what Christ actually taught, to only see a fraction of it from a masculine point of view. So on that note, this has been a very easy to get to for anybody looking to reach the next level of their woman king shamanistic powers and break free of a cultural system that has degraded you with Christianity, degraded you with Hindu, degraded you with Muslim, degraded your spiritual being at its powerful essence by rooting you in a false understanding that allows you to feel more powerful as a cultural ruled by men. In ancient Egypt, okay, before the Ptolemaic dynasties, before a lot of the restructuring of the temples that you see now, androgyny was the most powerful practice because they knew the gods that had been here before and we descended from were similar to an androgynous being. And I explain a lot of that in Every Planet Wears a Crown. So if you're just questioning what I'm saying here because I sound like I'm a little bit of a, what do they call that? Man, I can't even come up with the words. I'm so glad I can't because I don't need to manifest it. But I am above that. I am a god, king, queen-esque goddess. And I say that as my name is Dab for short in my spiritual world, but backwards Dab is bad. So everything that is good is evil. Everything that is evil is good. And if you can't embrace that and understand that we live on a planet that causes destruction, but it also causes life, you've kind of lost the message. And that's why my Saturn Gods logo, which I wish everybody would go out there and purchase my my new product line called Saturn Gods, is a manifestation of the beautifulness of a planet and the ugliness of a planet, because it is both states at once. A planet is very similar to a human being. We are the macro to the we are the micro to the macro planet, and the planet is the micro to the macro of a solar system, and the solar system is the micro to the macro of a galaxy, and the galaxy is the micro to the macro of a galaxy cluster. I could keep going. I could have gone with cell structures first. I could have started way down there with atoms and been in the same pattern, and then just want you to understand that even in the electron that flows through your vibrating atoms, there's an entire duplication of the micro and the macro living together forever. And that's a very powerful place once you've achieved it. It's called true consciousness. I know we like to call it Christ, but that's a very easy to understand lexicon, so we play with it. But true consciousness lives in every vibration of you. And it's metaphysical on the most alchemic level, but you must, as a man, first and foremost, respect the fact that you are at a loss. You've given up something to not be an androgynous being. The woman, on the other hand, is not an androgynous being either. She is not, though, lacking one part of the chromosome structures that allow for her emotional states to allow for a special kind of ability in the mind state of our God pillars. So on that note, I'm out. I hope you have a blessed day to be more. Because I don't want you to be less, I want you to be more than what you were after you leave this situation.